2012, what a great year for citizen action that it shows in all the projects at Equiterre.
It was a great year, and the first thing that comes to mind actually is the fact that we were able to mobilize 300,000 people in the streets of Montreal on Earth Day. So all these people who came out and said, you know, the environment is a priority. It's probably a precedent in Quebec, Canada, maybe even the world in terms of the number of people in the streets for Earth Day.
We also worked on preventing the arrival in Quebec of tar sands, one of the dirtiest fuel. This company called Enbridge wants to bring them here. We've been working with our partners in Canada, but also in the US, to try and mobilize the population and educate them about the risk and dangers of this project, and clearly a big priority for us in 2013.
We also saw that people are still interested in fair trade, because we organized a fair trade fair in Montreal. There was about 25 actors that were showing their fair trade product, and they were talking about the issue that the producers living in the South. So it was very, very interesting.
A great event that took place in the Maison du Développement Durable, the ecological building that Equiterre helped build. And in 2012, we also launched an ecological tour through the building to help educate thousands of people to the impact that buildings have and how we can reduce that environmental impact. Speaking
of sustainability, obviously 2012 an important year because it's the United Nations conference Rio Plus 20, so 20 years after the first Rio conference. An important event internationally, but also for us because Equiterre was born out of the first Rio conference, so celebrating our 20th anniversary, an important moment for us. We had a delegation of people from Equiterre in Rio to talk about fair trade and sustainability. But we also tried to bring Rio back here into Quebec by organizing various events so people could feel part of this. And even if they couldn't go, they could still participate in a way to this very important international event.
We also did a very fun campaign this year. It was called Be a Transportation Superhero. And we want to celebrate the contribution of the people who's taking public transit and active transportation. We did very lovely activities.
I loved wearing the superhero costume and saying thank you to people who use public transit, who do carpooling, who use their bike, who walk, and it was so nice to see their reaction, feeling so empowered and encouraged at the same time. It was pretty cool.
Yes.
It was one of the fun projects that we did in 2012, and one of the many projects that we did. And there's still a lot to do though, and 2013 is going to be a busy year as well, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
We're going to work with the Quebec government because we want them to eliminate the pesticide that we use for aesthetic purposes. And we also going to work with hospitals and schools because we want them to buy more local product. So we want them to keep going on this project.
On the climate and energy front, we will work with the Quebec government also to help them develop and implement the very ambitious target of reducing greenhouse gas emissions, the most ambitious in North America. Also a target to reduce our oil dependency, which is the source of so many of our problems, economical, environmental, social. And we will continue to work to prevent the arrival in Quebec of the dirtiest fuel on the planet, tar sands, with our partners, clearly a big priority in 2013.
So still a lot of work in 2013, and we're going to need all the help we can get from obviously our employees, but also our hundreds of volunteers across Quebec that have been giving us a hand to move all these things forward, our partners, and especially citizens from across Quebec who support us, who transmit our messages. So I'd like to propose a toast to all these people who help make Equiterre what it is.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.